Okay,
I'm
so we're
here.
recording. Good. Okay. All right. So as long as everyone can see my screen, we're good to go. Good morning, everybody. I'm coming to you from Realtour, and I'm going to give you a pretty quick tutorial on using our most popular marketing products. Okay. So as long as everyone can see, I'm logged into my account and I'm on my home page, or we call it the dashboard page because it has everything that you need. So just to give you a really quick run through of the dashboard page, these are our main products. So for today's session, we're going to go through, like I said, our top selling products, which is our photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers. We probably won't make it to print materials, but that's okay because creating a print material is the identical process of creating an e-flyer. So these two are basically the same. So these are our big, most popular products. These are the ones that you should know how to use, okay? Don't worry, it's really easy. I'll take you through it all. Um, Everything else, and these are the products that agents will use to market their listings. Our other products that we offer, we can always do another tutorial at another time, but they're more about marketing yourself. So these are the ones that you're going to use to market your listings. Okay. I just want to point out a couple things before we get going. For those of you who are brand new, when you create your Realtour account, it is a really good idea to come up and look at these buttons up here. Again, we just have our marketing products again, but also under my account, I'm going to click on contact info. When you first create your Realtor account, it really pays off just to take 5 minutes and fill in this form with your office address and your email address, your phone numbers, the name of your agency, if you have a website of your own, any of this information, take a minute to fill it in because as you go through and make your marketing materials, a lot of this information will auto-populate into the marketing materials. It'll auto-populate into the virtual tour and into your e-flyer. So it will just save you time later. Same thing with your headshots and logos. You can take a minute and upload your headshots. Now again, this is my account and I'm not a real estate agent. This is a testing account. So you're going to see all kinds of things that are not real. None of my listings are real. Obviously, none of these headshots are me. Okay? But I just want to show you guys. So, and same thing with your logos. You can upload all of your logos. Okay, and it will just save, as you see, you'll see, it'll just save you some time down the road. Okay, so I'm going to try to move along at a decent pace because we've got about 45 minutes. We want to keep this till an hour. Let's say that I'm a real estate agent and I just got a new listing and I really want to book a photo shoot. I want to get some professional images for my listing. And I always take a minute here and tell people it's really worth your while to book a photo shoot. Most of our photographers, in fact, I think probably all of our photographers offer a very basic package. They're usually about $120 to $125 for a basic package, and you usually get 20 to 25 professional, beautiful photos that you can then use in all of your marketing material. So for an investment of about $125, you get these beautiful pictures, and really you can use them everywhere. And that's what people are looking at when they're searching for properties and stuff online. They're looking at the imagery. So it's really important, I think, to invest that 125 bucks into some photography. So let's say I just got my listing. First thing I want to do is book my photo shoot. I've logged into my Realtour account. I'm on my dashboard. Here's my photo shoot button. I just click on photo shoots. The next page, and you'll see this as we go through every product, the next page will show all of my listings that I already have set up in my account. Okay? And as I mentioned, these are all fake listings because this is a demo account. Your listings will always be divided into two groups. Over here, these are the listings that already have the product that I'm in. So if I'm in e-flyers or virtual tours, all of my listings in this column already have an e-flyer and a published virtual tour. This column over here, these are listings that I've set up in my account for some other reason, but they don't have the particular product that I'm in. So these products, these listings over here already have a photo shoot booked for them. These ones do not, okay? And if I'm coming in here for the first time, I'm not going to have any listings, or I've got a brand new listing, I need to create my listing. You always have to create your listing if you're going to make a product, okay? Now, I'm always going to land on the same page when I create a listing, and we call it the property details page. There's a lot of fields here, right? But don't worry, you do not have to fill them out all at once. You only need to fill in the required fields, the ones that are underlined in green, and that's really just the address, okay? Everything else you'll be able to come back at a later time and fill it in if you want, okay? So to book our photo shoot, let's just make up an address. Let's just call it, whoops, 123 Tuesday Street. And let's just say that we are in Austin, and this is our zip code, okay? Once I've done that, I'm going to get a pop-up asking if I want to feature my listing on House Hunt. We're not going to go through House Hunt right now. It's just a free marketing tool that we have, so I'm just going to close that for now. Okay, filled in my 4 fields. Now I get a button that says Create Listing. I'm going to click that, and it's going to take me to the next page. You have to bear with me. Sometimes things are a little slower on webinar. The next page is going to show me all of the available photographers that service the zip code of the listing I just created. I think there are 4. So there are 4 photographers. So I can take a look at each of them. I can take a look at their portfolios. I can click on their pricing. I get a little pop-up that shows me the packages and the pricing. Okay. So I can go through and look at them all. And as I always mention, our photographers, they all know each other. These ones are all in Austin. So their packages are very similar and the pricing is pretty similar as well. I can also take a look at everybody's calendar and just see, okay, what days are they available? David is a really popular photographer. He's not available until, my goodness, the 17th. Well, maybe I don't want to wait that long. I see Dana over here. She's available on Thursday. I'm going to take Dana. I just click on the date I want. And it brings me to the next page. Again, these are Dana's packages and her pricing. I find the one I want and I select it. Scroll down, there's nothing else I need. I hit continue. Next page is where I can give Dana any instructions that she might need to access the property or anything she needs to know about the property. So if there's a code for a lockbox, I can fill that in here. Or maybe Dana's going to meet me at the property, and you'll see that my phone number is already here. Okay, so this is just one place where your information from my account will auto-populate just to save you some time. So that has already filled in for me. Or maybe the owner's going to be home. I'll put in the owner's name and number so Dana has it. Any further instructions, I can type in a little note to Dana. The agent would really like if you could do it in the afternoon. There's a dog in the yard. Please take some extra pictures of the landscaping. The gardens are really beautiful. Any information I need to give Dana, I do it right here on this page. Next, I add my order to the shopping cart. And that's it. I'm in the shopping cart. Okay, so that's how easy it is to book a photo shoot. So when I'm in the shopping cart, I get a quick recap. Here's my, I chose Dana. This is my listing address. This was the date I scheduled it for. This was the package I chose for $125. Oh, and look, Platinum Virtual Tour, $0. This is because with every photo shoot you book through us, we give you a free Platinum Virtual Tour, which is worth $30. So it doesn't matter which photo shoot package. You can book the absolute cheapest one that they've got. It doesn't matter. You will always, always, always get a free Platinum Virtual Tour. So it's one more incentive to book a photo shoot. For $125, I'm going to get 25 beautiful pictures that I can use in all of my marketing material, including my virtual tour, and I get that tour for free. Okay, another nice feature about our system, just to let you know, once I have paid for this, the order goes through to Dana. She goes out, does the photo shoot on Thursday. She then can process the images and upload them into her own Realtour account. She has her own back end, and then the pictures will be sent from her account into your account, and she will create the virtual tour for you. At which point you get an email saying, hey, Jana, your pictures are ready. Your virtual tour is ready. You can download the pictures right out of the email, or I can log into my account, go into the virtual tour, and have a look at all my stuff, okay? So we do not have to deal with the photographer trying to get the images to the agent, which can always be difficult. Not everybody's comfortable using Dropbox or zipped folders. It can be a mess. So we've taken care of all of that for you through our back end. Dana will upload her pictures, and they will automatically go into your account, and the tour will be created. So it's all done for you. Okay, I'm going to delete this out of my shopping cart so I don't accidentally book a photo shoot and go back to the home page. So that is how you order a photo shoot. Once you get the hang of it, you can do it in less than 5 minutes. And once you get a favorite photographer, which I think a lot of our clients end up using the same photographer over and over again, you can even book the same package. I mean, you can book a photo shoot in just 5 minutes. So it's really easy to use. Okay, next up.
Yeah. Jana, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
So you said that the photographer, when you put in the zip code, the group of photographers pop up.
Yeah.
What if you have a listing, 60 miles from here in a different zip code, but you really already know the photographer that you like, that you want to use, and they don't pop up in there?
If you have a photographer that you use all the time, you probably have their contact information, and you can contact them.
No, I meant your photographers through Realtor. You know what I'm saying? Like if the listing is at 77069,
Hmm.
and that's the group of photographers that are going to pop up for them to choose, but they already have a relationship in 77573 with the photographer that they used through Realtor in the past,
Yeah.
but they didn't pop up in that other zip code.
Yeah, so if they don't service that zip code, but they're the photographer that you prefer, you can always just contact that photographer personally and just ask if they're willing to do your photo shoot.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and if
Oh,
so, and
there's
if yeah, go ahead.
one more question.
Does it give you any reviews on the photographers from past people?
Is there any way that they
Oh.
can get reviews on those photographers in your group of people?
Most of our photographers have their own standalone websites, so you could just Google them. Yeah, we don't have, that's a good idea though. We don't have testimonials for them on our site, but that's a good idea. We should probably add that for people who aren't familiar with them. But yeah, most of our photographers do other things as well, so they have their own websites and everything. So I would check them out there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. Okay, so let's move on to the next product. Okay, so virtual tours. Click on that. And again, we're on the similar page we were on when we went into photo shoots, our listing page. All of these listings in this columns already have a finished published virtual tour. All of the listings in this column do not. So you can see here's the listing that I created for the photo shoot. It says waiting for images, right? So it doesn't have a finished published virtual tour. Now to save us some time, I'm going to choose one of my listings that's already done just because it's already populated with content and it'll be easier for us to see. Okay, so over here, I'm going to choose this one, 111 Main Street. And under my options, I can change the player. And what that means is, we've had a traditional virtual tour for years and years and years, and it's your basic moving slideshow with transitions between the images and music playing and that kind of stuff. But a few months ago, we've introduced a new player, and basically it's called a single property website. So instead of the traditional virtual tour, it looks a lot more like a website with a slideshow at the top, and the viewer can just click next, 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 and go through the slideshow, and I'll show you that. It's kind of the new standard for virtual tours. Right now, we're offering both players, the older classic player and then the new single property website so our clients can choose. But I would imagine over time, we will eventually phase out the old virtual tour, okay? And we'll probably just be doing the single property websites. But for now, you can still choose between both. So you can choose which player you want. You can check statistics to see how many people have watched your tour. You can go in and edit your tour. Or if your listing has sold, you can set the entire listing to be inactive. But right now, let's go in and edit the tour so you guys can see what the back end looks like. Okay, so this page might look familiar. When we created our listing for the photo shoot, we just filled in the address, but this is the same page. This is the property details page that has information all filled in. So that's what it looks like when it's filled in, okay? For every product that we are in, we always have a navigation bar that goes across the top of the page. This is how you're going to navigate your way through the back end. And we do it like this because a lot of these features are optional and you may not want to use them. So we don't want you to have to go through every step in chronological order if you just want to upload some pictures and then jump to the end and you're done. And a lot of people do that. Some people will just book a basic tour, add some music, upload their pictures, and go to the shopping cart and they're done. Okay, so with the navigation bar, you can jump around back and forth in it. So here's the property details page, and we're all filled in. We're good to go. Next up, photos. Now, if you have booked a professional photo shoot, when you come into your back end of your virtual tour, your pictures are already going to be here waiting for you because your photographer has uploaded them for you. So I've already got little thumbnails here of all of my pictures, okay? You'll notice in here we've got different tabs. So in your virtual tour, you can have photos, which are just regular photos. You can have panos, which are those long panorama shots that the photographer will do. They'll set up a tripod and do like a 360-degree shot. So you can have those. You can have a video. Maybe your photographer does video as well, or maybe you've hired someone to make a video, or maybe you filmed a little video on your phone or something. You can upload a video. You can do a Matterport tour. A number of our photographers do Matterport tours. Or if you have one from your own photographer and you want to upload the Matterport, you can do that. Walkthrough, same thing. A few of our photographers offer a walkthrough tour. And then floor plans. If you happen to have floor plans for your listing, you can upload floor plans. And then again, your headshots and logos. Same headshots and logos as we saw under My Accounts. You can either upload them here or here. So let's go back to photos. So if you have your own photography, maybe you have your own photographer that you use and they're not part of our system, that's fine. You do not have to use our photography to use our products. If you have your own photographer or if you yourself have gone out and taken the pictures, you can always just click on upload and upload the images right here into this account as well. If you want to download the images out of your Realtour account and save them on your computer so you can maybe send them to the client, or maybe you're getting signage made or something and you want to send those to your graphic designer, anybody who needs them, you can download them at these various sizes. Okay? All right, so here's the Photos tab. If you want, you can also add a caption to your picture. You'll notice there's a little link here that says Add or Edit Caption. If I click on that, I get a little pop-up text box and I can type in a caption, okay? I can click Next Image and do one on the next image if I want, or I can skip the next image. You do not have to have a caption on every single picture. You can skip ones if you want, okay? But this is just to show you how to add them. Once I'm done, I can just exit out of here and I'm back on the page I was on. Something new that we have added to this page is the Arrange Tour tab. If you want, you can arrange the pictures and the media together into your tour. So if I click on Arrange Tour, the instructions here are explaining that every image, pano, video that I have here under Arrange Tour, this is what's going to show in the virtual tour in this order. So if I leave it like this, I'm going to have, my tour will start with a still image, then it's going to have a pano, then 2 more still images, and then a video. Okay, so I can take all of my content, all of my media, have them here in Arrange Tour, and have them show up in the tour in the order that I want them to be in. And if I don't want certain images, I can just delete them out of here. And then if it doesn't delete them out of my account, it just saves them on the Photos tab. I can also add them back. So that's the difference between Photos and Arrange Tour. Photos holds all of your still photography and saves it in your account. Same with panos, video, everything else. It's Arrange Tour. This is the tab that will have the actual media in your tour. Okay? So again, if I delete something out of tour,
You just drag and move the photo to a different area, correct? In
that's
order?
to change the order, yes. So all of the media will show up on Arrange Tour, and once you're in here, you can click on them and move them around. Maybe I want my second image to be this one, I want my third image to be this one, then I want my pano, then I want my video. So this is where you will set the order of the virtual tour for how you want everything, okay? All right, so this page is kind of complicated because it has a lot of tabs. Everything else is a lot easier. You get used to it though. If you don't ever want to use the Arrange Tour, you can literally just keep the photos here and you don't have to do anything. It will just, the tour will just show these photos in this order. This is, Arrange Tour is just if you want to add in video and panos, mix them in, you can do that. Okay, so that's our Photos tab. Next up is Map. The map is really easy. All we're showing you is a Google map with a little marker with your listing. So 111 Main Street, that's where 111 Main Street is in here, okay? If Google has it wrong, which they sometimes get it wrong, you can also click on your marker and just move it around to where it should be. Maybe it's actually supposed to be right there and just let go and the system will save it. Okay, so that's all you have to do on the map thing. You're just making sure that your marker is in the right place. Floor plans. This is an optional feature. If you have a floor plan for your listing, and you may remember back on the photos page, I showed you the floor plan tab. I had uploaded a floor plan. So if I want to include the floor plan, I can. If I want to illustrate the floor plan with some of my imagery, I can just drag and drop my pictures into the appropriate location on the floor plan. When I do that, it becomes a little camera icon, and if I click on the camera icon, I get a bigger pop-up. So you're kind of just illustrating the floor plan, right? So I can drag and drop images over wherever I want them to be. Looks good. If I want to remove one, there's a little X, I can remove it. It goes back into the little photo area. So this is just an optional feature if you want to include a floor plan, and you don't have to illustrate it with pictures. You may just want the plain floor plan to show up. That's fine too. Flyers. Again, optional. A lot of our agents will also make an e-flyer or a print flyer for their listings. If you want to have that flyer associated with your virtual tour and for the viewer to be able to download a PDF of it, you can do that right here. Now, because this is a test listing and not a new listing, I've already got flyers made for it. So if I scroll down, These are the existing flyers that I have. There's a postcard and there's 3 flyers. I've already made these for this listing. So I can click on the one I want and drag and drop it over. And now this particular flyer is associated with this tour, and someone watching it will be able to download a PDF of this flyer. If you arrive on this page and you're just making your tour for the first time, everything's brand new, you don't have any flyers yet, that's okay. You'll be able to leave this page and go into the eFlyer or Print Creator and make your flyer and then come back, or you can just leave this blank for now, finish your tour, and then leave and go make your flyer, come back, and your flyer will appear here, okay? So you can easily jump in and out of whatever product you're making. Our system will always save it automatically. So if you get a phone call or you need to go to a meeting and you're right here in the middle of making your tour, that's okay. You can exit out of here and come back tomorrow, and the work you've done will just be sitting here saved in the partially finished virtual tour. Branding. Okay, our branding page has a few options for you. So
Hey, Jana, hold on. Jana, hold on 1 second. We have a question.
So she was talking about the floor plan and being able to drop pictures in onto the floor plan. How did it get the floor plan? Is that something we have to provide? Okay.
So they upload the floor plan in order for them to be able to drop the pictures into the floor plan.
Yeah, so if you have a floor plan for the property, back here on the photos page, there's a floor plan tab. So you would click floor plan tab and then upload images. And whether you have a JPEG or a PDF of that floor plan, you can upload the image of it here. And then when you go to the floor plan section, it'll show up right here. So some photographers I know create floor plans for listings, and sometimes the house isn't that old and the builder or somebody might have a floor plan for you. I don't think a lot of listings actually have the floor plan because they're kind of hard to get. But if you just happen to have your floor plan and want to put it in, you can upload it under Photos in the Floor Plans tab. Okay, so let's jump back to branding. So you've got a few options on the branding page. Basically, you can choose between whether you have 1 agent or 2 agents on the listing, okay? You can, it'll auto-populate with your first headshot. Now, you may remember I had a whole bunch of headshots. This was my first headshot in my group. If I want to change that headshot, I can just click change. Maybe I want to use this lady instead. Now it's this lady. And you'll notice every time I make a change, this is going to update over here. So I don't want to do too many changes because we're on webinar and it's slow. Same thing with my logo. If I want to change my logo, I can pick a different one and it will just update, and my little virtual tour will update. Every change I make, I'll see the changes. It's already got my name.
So if they're a team, it doesn't matter. It's just the single photo, right, with 2 people in it?
If you have a single photo with 2 people in it, you can use that here. But if you have 2 agents and you want to include both photos and both of their contact information, select 2 agents, and then this will disappear and it'll be down at the very bottom of the virtual tour. In the contact information will show both headshots and both sets of contact information.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Yeah, and so again, all my contact information is auto-populated because I took the time to fill it out under my account. But these fields are editable. So as you see, I can click in here and I can make changes if I want. If that's not the phone number I want to use on this particular listing, for whatever reason, I can change the phone number. So it is editable. It just auto-populates to save you time. Okay, down here at the bottom, I can switch between the single property website, which is what you're looking at now. This is our single property website version of the tour. So it's set up much more like a website, okay? So you've got little tabs at the top that you can go through. You've got a slideshow at the top that I can just click next, next, next and go through the images. I have a photo gallery down here. I have my property details. I have everything in here. So this is the single property website. The classic player is our old player. I don't want to switch to it now, as I mentioned, just because we're on webinar and it just takes a little bit of time to load. I can also change colors of the branding. So I can have gray. There's black, white, blue, brown, red, and green as well. And then I can also choose a font, whichever font I want to see. And any of these that I click on will auto-populate here so I can see how they look before I make my choice. And even when I get to the end and finish my tour and pay for it and publish it, once I start looking at it, if I'm like, oh, I really don't like the color I chose, I really don't like the fonts I chose, I can always come back into my virtual tour, click on branding, make changes, and it will update. And everyone will always see the most recent version, okay? So you can always change your mind later. So this is our branding page. Next up is SEO. So for those of you who are not familiar with SEO, it just stands for search engine optimization. So we give everybody the chance to add what you think are some good search keywords for this listing, and you can type them in right here. And then it's a greater chance for someone searching on Google or Yahoo when they're doing a search for a listing. If they search for a 4-bedroom in Austin with a swimming pool and a deck, it's more likely that your tour is going to show up in their Google search results. It's going to show up closer to the top. So this is an optional feature, but we really recommend. It only takes like a second to type in some keywords. And we've even added your property description that we took from the property details page. So you can take keywords out of here if you want as well, if you can't think of any. But I'm sure everybody can think of a few keywords to describe your listing. So put in some SEO, it's worth the time. Next is music. For the virtual tour, you can choose some background music. If you want, you can, if you click on the little play, you can listen to a little string of music. You guys probably can't hear that because I have a headset on. I can hear it. But when you come in here, you can go through and play all the different music and see which one you like. If you want to have music in the background of the virtual tour portion, just tick the one you want. If you don't want music, just tick no music. Totally up to you. Okay? Last is our proof. So this is where we get to preview the tour and make sure that everything looks the way we want it to. So if I click preview, it just opens in a pop-up window so that I can always close here and I'll be back in the back end if I ever need to change anything. So again, this is the single property website version of the tour. Okay, so it looks like a little website. It's really great. I can click next, next, next and look at all my imagery. I can scroll down and here's the actual gallery of all my pictures. So I can click on each of these and they pop up in a nice gallery and I can just go next, next, next through all of those. Close. I scroll down further. I've got my property details. So this is all the information that was on the property details page. I can download a flyer. Remember, I assigned a flyer to my listing, so I can download a flyer. I can forward this information to a friend if I'm like, oh, so I want to send it to my sister. I think, this is the house I really want. What do you think? Here's the virtual tour for it, so I can send it to a friend. Scroll down more. If you have a Matterport tour, this is where the Matterport tour will show up. I can click to activate it. For those of you who are familiar with Matterport tours, it's like a little walkthrough through the property. And I don't know how well this shows up in webinar, but for me, it's a nice smooth transition and I can move all the way through the house and move my pictures around. It's like being in the house. Matterport tours are really cool, and a number of our photographers offer them. And even if you get a Matterport tour from another non-Realtour photographer, that's fine. They send you the code and you can dump it into your tour and have it as well. Okay? If you have a video of your property and you want to include it, your video will show up here, right? So you can have, I just have one video, but you can have 5 or 6 videos. I think we have 5. You can have 5 videos that will show up, little thumbnails you can watch between them. Location, this is just the Google map with the location of our property. And if I click here, I can literally just, navigate in here like I would with a Google map with my controls, and I can move around and stuff. It's just a Google map. Scrolling down, floor plan. So I included a floor plan. Here are my little pop-up pictures that I wanted to have illustrating my floor plan. I can print the floor plan, download it, make it look bigger. Some people will have, and you can have, I think, 5 floor plans as well. Maybe even more, but they'll show up as little thumbnails. If the property has, various floors or something, you can have that in there as well. Okay. And again, if you didn't include floor plans, then this part just won't be in your finished product, right? So if you don't have a floor plan, this whole area just isn't even in the tour. So I'm just showing you the one with all the options. Now, what's nice, when you get down to the bottom, and this is something you didn't have to set up at all, we also include a little section called My Listings. So at the end of every single property website virtual tour that I create, at the bottom, all of my available listings will also show up in a little miniature form like this. So if I also want to advertise my other listings, here they are. And there's a little bit of information, or I can click and watch the virtual tour for each of these as well, and it will open in another window. Okay, and then down at the very bottom is just another contact section. So as I mentioned, if you had chosen 2 agents, then both agents' information would show up down here. Both their headshots, both their contact information would show up down here in this area. But if you're just one agent, then we have all of your stuff, your social media, and then a little form if someone wants to contact you, and they can send you a message and you'll get a little lead there. Okay. So this is what the single property website looks like. And we're thinking it's, as far as we know, according to our research, this is basically becoming the new industry standard. So we're thinking that our traditional classic virtual tours will eventually be faded away, or phased away, I should say, and everyone will be using the single property website. But just to keep everybody happy, you'll notice up here in the little tabs, one of them says virtual tour. So even though you've chosen the single property website, we've created a traditional virtual tour with the moving transitions and the background music you selected and everything else. If you want it, and again, it'll be really choppy because we're on webinar. It plays nice and smoothly for me, but just so you guys get the idea, we do include the classic virtual tour in with this if you want to use it, because some people still really like it. So if you want to sit and watch it, it will still show up and I can just exit out of it and I'm back in the single property website. So by choosing the single property website version, you get the best of both worlds. If you choose the classic player, you only get the classic player. You don't get the layout and the setup like this. So I strongly recommend you choose the single property website version. And when I'm in here, remember, I'm in the proof. If I see any mistakes, maybe a typo in one of my captions, maybe I don't like the order that my pictures are in, maybe I don't like the color I chose, I'm in a pop-up window. I can just close this and I'm back in the back end of the virtual tour creator. I can jump back to branding and change the font I chose. I can jump back to photos and add some more captions or fix a typo or change the order of my media. So I'm in the back end. Okay. Last up is links. The links page looks pretty complicated because there's a lot of tabs, but these are optional. You don't have to use these if you don't. Basically, our first tab is just called links. This is the link for the actual tour. If I click on this link, because my tour is paid for and published, if I click on this link, it will pop up the tour and it will go live. This is where you can copy the link, either a branded version or an unbranded version, and send the link to wherever you want, your MLS. Anywhere you want to have the link click so people can watch your tour. This is where you get the links for that, branded and unbranded. If you want to embed this tour into your website or something and you've got a web developer, you can copy the embed code here and send it to your web person and they can embed it. If you want your tours to automatically show up on your website every time you publish a new one, you can copy a link to do that as well. You would have to send that to your web developer. It's probably not something that you would do yourself, but if you have a web developer, you can do that. So this is where you get the links for the actual tour, okay? Realtor.com. If you want to send this tour to Realtor.com, you can just type in the MLS number and click send the link. Usually your tour will show up within a few hours, 24 hours at max, but it will just go automatically from your Realtor account to Realtor.com. Domain name. This is optional. So you may have noticed back here on the links page, this is your URL for the tour, right? It's got the word vtour, realtor.biz, blah, blah, blah. It's kind of messy. Not everybody likes the way this looks. Some people would rather click on domain name and purchase a specific domain name. They would rather purchase www.111mainstreet.com. You can purchase that. It's an additional $20. So you can type in what you want and check it to see if it's available. If it's available, you can send this to your shopping cart and you're good to go. If it's not available, you can keep trying new formations of it until you get one that is available, and then you can purchase it for $20. Then your URL will not be this. It will be whatever domain name you've purchased, okay? Again, this is optional. Not that many people bother with it because most people don't even really notice this. They'll click on a button that says View Virtual Tour or Watch Tour, and they never really see this. So it's just an option for you. QR codes. For every virtual tour that you create, we automatically generate a QR code that you can just download a JPEG of it for free. Maybe you want to use it in some of your marketing material. Maybe you want to send it to your sign person and they're going to put it on the big sign. So when people are walking by, they can scan it with their phone. So we always provide a QR code. Facebook.
Hey, Jana, hold on one second. So you guys, if this is a new listing and you send out a postcard that says coming soon or just listed or open house, under contract, just sold, you can upload that barcode onto for them to print it on your postcard. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, Facebook, if you have a Facebook page that's dedicated to all your real estate listings, and we're finding that a number of real estate agents do have that, then when you come to the Facebook tab, you can send your listing information to your Facebook page. So when you come in here for the first time, you can create a page and it will send you to Facebook, and you can create a page and call it Jana's Real Estate Listings or something. And then you can come back here, and for this listing, I can create a post. Right? I've already done that, so I'm just going to click on View Post so you can see what it actually looks like on Facebook. So when I send my listings to Facebook, this is what it looks like. So I get a nice little description. I get my first showcase image that I had in my tour, and then I have a link down here where they can click and it will go and take them to my actual virtual tour. So we automatically set this up for you. So that's if you want to put it onto Facebook. And this is obviously a Realtour testing page, but yours will be a proper page, just so you can see what it looks like. Okay, YouTube, same thing with YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel and you want to send a video version of your virtual tour to YouTube, you can just do that right here. If you're here for the first time, there'll be a little button that says Authorize Realtour to send your videos to YouTube on your behalf. You'll have to click that, and then you'll choose your YouTube channel, and it'll go from there. It's all done automatically. If you don't have a YouTube channel, that's okay. Realtour has one, and we can host all of your videos on our channel. The point is, if someone's on YouTube and they search for this listing, they're going to find your video and they can watch it on YouTube, right? House Hunt, I'm going to skip House Hunt because we're short on time, but House Hunt is really just a free marketing tool that we made for people. It's a Google map that shows all of your listings on the Google map. And you can use it if you want. You can send it to people and say, here's a link to my house hunt, and it'll just show all of your listings on the Google map. So it's more of a marketing tool. Matterport, as I mentioned, as we just saw the little Matterport sample in the virtual tour. If you have a Matterport as part of your virtual tour, here are the links for the Matterport, because you may just want to watch the Matterport part. You may not want to have to go through the entire single property website or the entire virtual tour. You may just want to get the link that just shows the Matterport section separated out of the virtual tour. So we have a place here where you can get your links for that as well. And then statistics, that's the very last thing. So every Monday, we send out a statistics report to all of our agents. It's a little list in the email with all of your listings, and you can click on each one and check the statistics for your e-flyers and your virtual tours, and just see how many people have watched them, how many people have clicked on stuff. You know, I did an e-flyer blast, and how many people looked at it, that kind of thing, okay? If you want to send those same statistics reports to any of your clients, maybe the homeowner would like to see how many people watched the virtual tour that I made, you can enter the client's name and the client's email address, and then they will also receive on Mondays the same stats report, but just for this listing. You yourself will get a stats report for all of your listings in Realtour, but your client will just get a specific stats report for this listing if you add them here, okay? So that's kind of a nice feature to send to your clients. Yep.
Can you click back real quick and show what a Matterport is, the one with the little dots in the floor plan?
Yep. So here is a Matterport tour. I'm going to click on it in here. Don't know how big it will be, but you'll get an idea.
Yeah. Step on a dot and go to that room and go down the hallway and go to
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, so basically the photographer goes to the house and they take a series of panorama pictures. They set up their camera on a tripod and it rotates around the room and kind of records each room. And they'll do this in dozens and dozens of places in the house. And then there's Matterport software that stitches all the images together and spits out a finished product, which is basically I don't know how to describe it. It's like being in the house. So I don't know how well you guys can see this because we're on webinar and it sometimes makes things choppy. But you see all these little dots. If I click on a dot, it moves me forward into the dining room, moves me forward. And when I'm in every room, I can use my mouse and just rotate around. So it feels like I'm actually in the house. And I can go anywhere. I can go down this hallway. Now I'm in this hallway. I can move down the hallway further. Here's a room. I can go into this room. Now I'm in a bedroom. I can move forward into the bedroom. Like, it's really cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, it gives you a really good idea of the layout.
Your photographer does that for you, and you can upload it into Realtour.
Absolutely. You can't do it yourself. The photographers have a special camera and special software that creates the finished product. So if you want to book a Matterport tour with one of our photographers, they will create your virtual tour, upload your pictures, and they will upload the Matterport into your account. So it will all be here waiting for you. But yeah,
Cool.
they're pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, if you have a property that's worth it, like a higher end property, then I think it's worth it to do it because the presentation looks amazing. And again, it might be choppy for you guys because we're on webinar, but for me, it's beautiful. So I can always send, Carrie Jo, when I send you the link to watch this whole tutorial, I can send you a link to the Matterport so people can look at that as well on their own computers, and then you'll see how nice it is.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're almost done because I know we want to keep it to the hour. Last up, we're going to look at e-flyers. So we're an agent. We just got a listing. We've booked our photo shoot. We've made our virtual tour. I keep calling it virtual tour. I'm trying to switch over to single property website, but most people are still familiar with virtual tour. It's the same thing. Next up, I want to make an e-flyer. Okay, so most of our agents, once they've done these two, will make an e-flyer with all of their property information, and they'll blast it out to the real estate community, and the e-flyer will link to your virtual tour. Okay, so it just gets the information out about your new listing to everybody. So to make my e-flyer, I just click on e-flyers. Again, I'm on the same page with all my listings. This listing over here already has an e-flyer that I've blasted out to everybody. These listings do not have a finished e-flyer. Maybe I've started one, but I haven't finished it. Either way, it hasn't been paid for or blasted out, but my listings still exist, right? That's one thing about our system. When you create your listing, here's the listing we created today to order that photo shoot. So you only ever have to create your listing the one time. It doesn't matter what product you then want to make. Your listing will appear in with all the other listings for that product. So I've created this listing for photo shoots, but I haven't done anything with it. Here I am in e-flyers, and here's my listing. I could go under options and create a new flyer for this listing. Okay, you never have to do it twice. So when you create your listing and upload all your stuff, it's always in here. You never have to repeat it. It's just another time saver. Speaking of time savers, let's choose the same listing, 111 Main Street, that we made the virtual tour for, just to save us some time. So here's the listing we were just working on. Under options, I can create a new flyer. If I already have a flyer, it will say edit, so I could go in and edit an existing flyer, okay? Let's create new, just so we can start from scratch so you guys can see. All right, again, we're in the back end, and you'll notice there's a navigation bar that goes across the top, just like in the single property website virtual tour creator. Back at the front is property details. Looks familiar? It's the exact same property details as it was for the virtual tour because we're in the same listing. Any existing e-flyers that I maybe already made are going to show up here. I don't have any, okay, so it's blank. Next, I can go into my template library. This is where I'm going to choose the template I want to use for my e-flyer. So over here on the left, we have a whole bunch of categories. We've got ones that are sort of nature themed. We've got corporate themed. We've got holiday ones. We've got Americana, open house ones. Anything you want to look at, you click on it. So for Americana, we could click on Texas. We could click on Austin. Here are all of my Austin themed flyers. Okay, I'm going to go into new flyers. Okay, so they're little thumbnails. They're kind of hard to see. If you want to see what they look like in a bigger version, you can simply click on preview and it will pop up bigger, and then you get a chance to see what this template will look like when it's fully, populated with all of my listing content. Oh, I like it, looks good. Okay, good to go. I close this. When I found the one that I want, I just click select. Now the system is initializing the new template. It can take a couple seconds because, as you'll see, as my page loads, the system is going to auto-populate my template with as much information as it can get from the property details page and also from my account. So you'll notice I haven't even touched my flyer template, and yet my address is already in here. And my property description is already in here. And my headshot and my name and phone number, my logo, all this information is already in here. So again, when I said at the very beginning, it really pays off to take a minute and fill in my account and upload your headshot and logo because it will just pay off later. You don't have to, redo it once you get to this page. However, when you do get to this page, you're not stuck with the auto-populated information. You can edit it. You'll notice if I mouse over the text field, it becomes active. If I click on that text field, I get a pop-up text editor. In here, I can type, I can delete. Maybe I want to delete this last line of text. Who knows? Maybe I want to select this text and do some changes up here. Now, you don't have a lot of freedom because it is a template, but there's a few things you can do. You could center your text. Maybe you like the look of that. You could bold it. You could italicize it. You could change the color of it. Here's some different colors if you want. You could make the font size a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller if you're trying to fit more in, or you're deleting and you want to fill it up more. So you have a few basic options in the text box editor. When you're done changing your text, you just hit OK, and our system is going to render the change you made immediately. So that's another nice feature of our eFlyer creator. Anytime you make a change, the system will render your change and you get to see what it looks like. All I did was center my text, but you can see it centered there. I don't have to leave this page to see my change. It changes right here in front of me. Okay? So that's how you edit all of your contact information and your text. You just click on the text field. So what's next? Images. You'll notice we have all of these image fields, and it just says drag and drop your image here. Over here on the left, we have all of our images. These are the same images that we had uploaded in the virtual tour. So they're all here waiting for us. Or if I didn't make a virtual tour, keep in mind, you don't have to use all of our products together. Some of our clients only use us to make e-flyers. Some of our clients only use us to make virtual tours. It's totally up to you. So if you're only going to use us to make e-flyers, then you won't have a virtual tour already created and you won't have your images sitting here waiting for you. That's okay. You can just click upload images and upload your images right into here, okay? You can click on the image and drag and drop it into the template. It's just that easy. Just drag and drop it over. Hit refresh. The system's going to render what I just did. Make sure everything is sized nicely and placed nicely. There it is. There's my finished template. That was pretty easy to do. But again, I can make changes. These captions, I can click their editable text fields. I can change those captions to be whatever text I want. I could change the price. Maybe there's something I don't want. If there's ever something you don't want, like this text field, I can just come in here, highlight the text, delete it. Now there's no text. Hit OK. System's going to render my change, and you'll see that the text is just gone, and I'll have that nice light green background. If I ever want to bring that text back, I just mouse over and I can click and I can add more text again. Same thing with your images. If you ever want to change an image, you can just drag and drop an image over top of one if you want, or you'll notice there's a little delete button on each one. You can delete it as well. If there's something that you just don't want here at all, like maybe you don't want the QR code, you can delete the QR code. Okay, it's going to delete the actual JPEG of that QR code, but it's going to leave me an image field. So maybe I have a second logo. If I have a second logo that I want to put in here, I can drag and drop it from logos or headshots, drag and drop it in, right? If I have a second logo. Or if I just don't want anything, I can delete the entire image field itself. And then again, I'll just have the nice green background of my flyer. Okay? So it's really easy to use once you get the hang of it. Next on the navigation bar, view the proof. We're almost done, guys. Bear with me. View the proof. So when I'm doing a tutorial, I always take a minute. Oh, it's kind of slow. Sorry, guys. Webinar. I always tell people to take 5 minutes and view the proof. It's so, so important because e-flyers are blasted out by email to however many agents you want. You might blast this flyer out to 3,000 agents. And if there's a mistake in it, you can't get it back. It's like sending an email to someone with a big mistake in it. You can come back in and fix your mistake and then blast it out a second time. But it gets messy, right? Suddenly people have 2 flyers that look the same and they're like, oh, didn't I already get this? They don't know what's different. They don't know that you've changed the price. Or maybe you did an open house and you forgot to put the time, and the second blast you've added the time, but they don't know that. I can't tell you, every single day we get a panicked call from an agent who's just sent out an e-flyer blast and there's a mistake in it. And sometimes there's a queue and we can get into the queue and cancel their blast and they can fix it and we can resend it for them. But often these go out really fast. So this might go out a couple minutes after you pay for it and I can't get it back and you'll have to come in and do a reblast. So moral of the story, take 5 minutes. Here it is, nice and big. Take 5 minutes, proofread it, make sure it's what you want. If it's not, you can always edit further by jumping back. Use the navigation bar, jump back to edit template, make your fixes. You can also send a proof of it to your client. Just click on client proof, enter their email address, a little message, hi Bob, here's the flyer. I want to send it out tomorrow. Let me know if it's good to go. And then Bob can sign off on it, then you're not going to get in trouble. Okay? So that is your view proof. Next up, links. For every flyer that you send, you have to have a subject line. You cannot get past this page without a subject line. It's the same as when you send someone an email. You usually put a little subject text at the top. You know, don't forget the meeting at 4 o'clock, right? You're going to put a little bit of subject text, whatever you want, whatever you think is going to get another agent to open up your information. Like, you know, amazing house, reduced price, you know, something that you think is going to get them to open it up. So you can type in whatever you want for your subject, but you have to have it. Next up, links. Okay, so right now our e-flyers allow everybody to add 3 additional links. Now we assume that most people are going to want their e-flyer to link to the virtual tour that they made. So we automatically have auto-populated link number 1 with view the virtual tour, and if you have a Realtour virtual tour, we'll put the link in here for you. So it's done. You don't have to do it. But as I mentioned, you don't have to use us for your tours. If you make your virtual tours with another company, that's totally fine. Just copy and paste the link to that tour and paste it in here. And then when someone clicks on your e-flyer, they'll get your other tour, whatever you want, okay? You have 2 other link options. So you could put in anything you want. You could put like a welcome to Austin, right? And then you could just add whatever that URL is. Let's just call it austin.com. Or maybe you have your own website. So it's like visit my website, whoops, to see all of my other stuff. And your website is just, you know, jana.com. Okay? So you can continue, but you could also preview the e-flyer just to make one more time, and I recommend this. Preview the e-flyer. This is what it's going to look like. Here's my subject. Here's today's date. It's coming from me. Here's the e-flyer itself. Here are my links. They're live. So that means I can click on them and just make sure that they actually go to the right location. So this is going to austin.com. Awesome, it worked. Okay? It's just one more chance to test it. This is just a pop-up, so you can always close it, make more changes, preview it again. You're good to go. Next up, we can hit continue, or we can use the navigation bar and go to distribution. This is the last step. This is where you decide how you are going to send out your e-flyer blast. You have 2 options. You can use our map blast tool, or you can use your own list of contacts, or you can do both. Most people do the map blast. If I click on the map blast, I get a pop-up window, a Google map, and our system automatically generates a target area with your listing address right in the middle. And you can see over here in this area, there are 2968 agents. It's going to cost me $32.93. If I'm happy with that, I can just hit continue and I'm done. If I want to tweak this target area, I can. There are little handles on the target area. I can click on them and make it smaller. This is a Google map, so I can just use the controls and zoom in. Maybe I want to do a more specific targeted area of downtown. Zoom in so I can see better. There we go. I can also move the little area around. So my new target area has 462 agents for $13. That's better. I only want to just announce this to a certain select number of downtown-based agents, okay? $13, I hit continue. Oh, I should mention before I do this, if you want, you can also add another target area. So once in a while, we get clients who have a certain listing that they actually want to send their e-flyer out to downtown, but they also want to send it to another geographical area. I don't know why. It depends on the listing. If you want to do that, you can just click add another area and we'll create another area. This one's purple. Let's zoom in so I can see. Maybe this area is going up here to Crestview. Okay, there's 137 agents in Crestview for an additional $1.37. Great, I'm going to blast to these 2 areas. So you can have as many target areas as you want. Most people just have 1. The occasional person will have 2. If you want to delete that area, just delete it. We're back to 1. Okay, when you're good to go, you hit continue and you're back on the same page you were in. You didn't go anywhere. You're still here. I also want to add some of my own contacts. So I can come up here and I can type in an email address that I want to also send this blast to. I can copy and paste a whole bunch. I don't have to type them all. Maybe I have a Word document with a bunch of them. I can just copy and paste them in. If you find that you're sending your e-flyers to the same sort of select group of people, you can add all their addresses here, and then you can save that as a distribution list. You could give it a name, My Favorite Clients of 2018, save it, and then it will be down here. So for example, I have my gold client list that I saved. It's got 7 people on it. If I click on that, it pops up. Here are the 7 people. I can add more. I can delete from this list. I can always edit this list. If I want to blast my e-flyer to those people, I just tick. So my e-flyer is going to go to the people on the map that I chose and also to my 7 people clients and then also to this person up here. You can also upload a CSV file if you have a, a whole database that you've been creating on your own. You can upload that and create a distribution list as well. Okay, let's continue. We're back here on the summary page. So my map blast is going to that many people. Contacts is going to 8. My e-flyer is going to 470 people. Down here is my pricing. You may notice that we have a discount. So if you guys are with Fatco, if you sign up with Carrie Joe, you get a corporate discount that no one else gets. You get a 25% discount on all of your Realtour products except for photo shoots because the photographers are contractors. They work on their own. But for if you want to buy a virtual tour and use your own photography, if you want to buy a piece of print material, a brochure, a postcard, if you want to do an e-flyer blast, anything else you want to do with us, any other product, because you're signed up with Carrie Joe and Fatco, you get a 25% discount, and that discount will show up here on the summary page. Okay? I hit continue, I send this order to my shopping cart, and it's good to go. The minute I pay for it, it is going to blast out. Okay, so that is how you do an e-flyer. Super easy. Once you get the hang of it, a lot of our agents use the same template. They find a template they love. They use it over and over again. A lot of the content is auto-populated. They might send out to a similar area. I mean, it's really, really easy to use. I'm going to delete my order out of here just so we don't accidentally send an e-flyer blast. Back to my dashboard page. Now we're basically out of time. I'll just mention for print materials, you make your print material the exact same way that you make your e-flyer. The only difference is that print material templates, we have single-sided, we also have double-sided. We also have brochure templates that are 11 by 17, and then you fold them in half, so you have a little booklet. And then we have a big postcard and a small postcard. And the other thing is that when you're done making your print material, you don't blast it out like an e-flyer. You just download a PDF of it that you can get printed. So that's the only difference. Creating the print material is exactly the same as creating the e-flyer. The template editor that we just showed you guys is the same. The proof page is the same, but when you're done, you just download or purchase your PDF. Okay? All right, so that is basically the tutorial. We kind of went through it quick, but just to give you guys an overview, and remember I recorded it, so you'll be able to rewatch any bits and pieces of it that you want. Your Realtour accounts are free. Anyone can go to realtor.biz and create an account. It does not cost anything. There's no subscription fee, there's nothing. Anyone can create an account, and then you can come in, set up listings, make products. I always encourage people, if you want to practice using the system, just create an account and come in and set up some listings, upload some pictures, and practice using it. You never have to pay for anything. I just showed you guys how to book a photo shoot, make a virtual tour, make an e-flyer, and when we got to the shopping cart, I didn't pay for anything. I just deleted the stuff out of it. So if you ever want to learn how to use it or give it a try and see how it works, you can just come in, create your account, and do this as well. If you ever want another tutorial, maybe this was more of an introduction, but you want a little more in-depth on how to make an e-flyer, you can always contact me if you need to. You can contact Carrie Joe or you can contact me, and I can do a little one-on-one tutorial if you want to learn how to do something. So there you go. Once you get using the system, it's pretty easy. A lot of our stuff is repetitive, and we've done that on purpose just so that once you get the hang of it, you can pretty much make anything.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So I'll upload the recording, and I'll also send a link to one of the Matterport tours so Carrie Joe can send that to everybody, and you can get a look at it firsthand.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much again, Jana.
Okay. Bye.